Describe equipment that stopped working and you got it repaired. Okay. In this contemporary epoch, the central focus of the manufacturers is on designing product. However, the quality is going for a toss. Due to this reason, many home appliances stopped working in short period of time. Recently, one of my kitchen equipment stopped working. It was an air fryer. My whole family finds extreme pleasure in eating fried food. Since this type of food is unfit for health, we use air fryer to fry the food with very small quantity of oil. Every evening, we use it to cook snacks to complement the evening tea. One day, while reheating rice, I forgot to collect spoon from the bowl, and due to this reason, magnetron inside the air fryer had broken down and machine stopped working. I vividly remember it because during that time my nation was in the state of lockdown and most repair person had closed their shops, so I found it extremely difficult to get it repaired. The air fryer is very important for my whole family. I can't imagine our life without it. So getting it repaired was the need of an hour. So I ordered magnetron from the Amazon website and luckily I received within 2 days. After receiving it, I started watching videos on YouTube to understand the repairing process. After putting my earnest efforts for an hour, I got it repaired and it started working with a bang. Finally, I realized that in this contemporary epoch, we can solve all our conflicts adroitly by using technology. That's it. Describe an interesting song. I'm really a massive fan of music. I believe that listening to good music helped me to recharge my batteries and uplift my spirit after a long day overloaded with work and studies. I listen to various kinds of music from rock to jazz, depending on situation like where I am, with whom I am, and what I am feeling at that time. Here I would like to talk about one of my favorite songs, that is Hall of Fame by famous Hollywood singers The Script and Will. This song was written for Tokyo Olympics 2012 and played at big athletic event to plump up the crowd. But you can easily relate in other times as well, especially when you are feeling about to give up. When it came out, it became a big hit on every single music chart throughout the world. Not only because of its catchy sound, but also because of its meaningful lyrics. This song wants to convey a message about that each of us can become a champion or whatever we want to be, as long as we dedicate our time and effort on doing what we are passionate about. This song has such a great meaning that whenever I was tired or had decided to quit, it would lift me up right away. Made me think that why I started in the first place, that I needed to finish my job that I am currently doing. That's it. Describe a place in village that you visited. I belong to Indore. Indore is a big city and there are so many villages nearby it. But here I would like to talk about my uncle's farmhouse. My maternal uncle and aunt have a farmhouse in a village which is located in the center of lush green farms. Last year they invited us over to stay with them for a few days. Their farmhouse is very well maintained as they have given a portion of it to a family who stays there and take care of it. They have also maintained a very good kitchen garden, and I remember for the whole week we enjoyed fresh veggies directly from the garden. They had grown aubergine, okra, bottle gourd, broccoli, cauliflower, coriander, mint and green chilies. My uncle is retired from agriculture department, so he has very good knowledge about organic farming. He would never use chemicals such as insecticides or pesticides and would instead prepare compost at home with kitchen waste. For the whole week we enjoyed a lot. They had 4 dogs, 2 pugs and 2 German Shepherds. Every morning we used to go for a walk and 4 dogs would walk by our side without their leashes. In cities we have to keep dogs with leashes, but in village scenario was totally different. After walking we used to eat delicious parathas with butter made by my aunt. We played badminton in their courtyard and sometimes we also played frisbee. The air also seemed fresh and pollution free. The environment was so quiet and calm with absolutely no source of noise pollution. They have such a peaceful life with absolutely no hurry and worry. I am looking forward for going and staying with them again this summer. That's it. Describe a thing you did to learn another language. I started learning Spanish recently. I always wanted to learn a foreign language. I believe that learning a foreign language allows us to know different people, culture and environment. My aunt lives in California and she mentioned that she started learning Spanish. I thought she was lucky to have an institute in her hometown that teaches Spanish, but I was wrong. She was learning from a mobile app called Duolingo. She told me that it had short lessons, only you need to spend 10 to 15 minutes a day. I also downloaded the app in my mobile phone and desktop version on my computer. I was really impressed by the app. It had very simple user interface and very easy to create an account and get started. It had more than 30 languages like German, French, Italian, Spanish, Chinese and many more. I was really confused between French and Spanish, but I decided to go for Spanish because it is fourth most spoken language in this world and I always wanted to prepare Spanish with my aunt online. So finally, I bought the Spanish Masterclass course on Duolingo and it had lots of good reviews and recommended by many people. It had short lesson but effective. Everything was explained thoroughly with lot of visuals and written examples. I started doing lessons in my free time. I would do them while commuting to my college or I will do them while waiting for my friends. It was so convenient to have on-the-go learning. I also started watching a Spanish show called Money Heist on Netflix to add to my learning. And Duolingo presented the lesson in such a simple manner. It not just helped me in speaking Spanish, it also helped me in writing Spanish. Also, it was fun to do because there were so many rewards on reaching different level and practicing daily. There was one option to add your friend and track each other's progress. So I added my aunt and it kept us both motivated to learn Spanish. I am still enrolled with the course and learning Spanish every day. I am so happy and satisfied with my efforts so far. I hope to become fluent one day. That's it.
Describe a person you follow on social media. I follow so many accounts on social media that post things about topics I am interested in like dance, music, yoga, art and so on. One account I follow is of Chef Sanjot Kher. He is the founder of Your Food Lab and become very famous for posting cooking videos on YouTube and Facebook. I have never been interested in cooking before as I would eat from outside or food that my mother would make. All I could make myself was tea or Maggi. But during pandemic, I literally started craving for restaurant dishes. So I started looking online for recipes to make those dishes at home. I came across a video for making chili cheese. It was one of my favorite dishes and I used to eat it at least once a week. The video was short about 5 minutes but explained each and every step from very basic. The background music and presentation were also very nice. The video was from an account, Your Food Lab, and the chef in this video was Sanjot Kher. I never knew him before this, but reviews were so good that I decided to go for this recipe. I followed each and every step of the recipe and it tasted even better than my favorite restaurant. My parents also tried it and they were literally surprised that it was homemade and I had made it. From that time on, I hooked up and started follow his YouTube account and even started following him on Facebook and Instagram. All his posts are mainly about food, but sometimes he posts about his friends, family and his team. I follow not only because of his recipes but also because I find him humble, kind and soft-spoken personality. He had a great personality and it has no wonders that he has so many followers on social media. That's it. Describe a skill that you learn from older people. It is true that we can learn invaluable skills and life lessons from older people. If I had to talk about myself, I would definitely going to talk about one skill that is reduce, reuse and recycle. I learned this skill from my incredibly talented grandmother. I grew up in a nuclear family with my both parents doing their working busy jobs. But no worries about that. Every year during summer, I used to spend at least 2 months with my grandparents. My grandmother would find imaginary ways to reuse and recycle everything at her house. She would never dispose old clothes and would instead sew some little pieces together to make curtains, quilt, pillow cover, tablecloth and so on. She would recycle old broken glass jars to hold spices, tea, grains, lentils and so on. She used newspaper for cleaning windows and reused aluminum foil for cleaning pots and pans. I was literally surprised when she converted an old broken shabby furniture door into a garden container. She would always keep me busy with craft activities like making old card boxes into fun toys, cars and robots. I learned everything by observing her and helping her with some of the repurposing projects she did. I gradually started implementing her ideas at my house and as I grew older it became my habit. I feel indebted to my grandmother that she taught me these valuable skills. I believe that reduce, reuse and recycling waste is so important at present time. We are suffering from landfills. Global warming and plastic pollution have taken toll to our mother earth. People should take immediate action to control this damage. I am so glad that I am trying to save our planet earth. Credit goes all to my grandmother. That's it.
Describe an interesting conversation you had with your friend. Man is a social animal and conversation are part of it. I had many conversations in my life, but here I would like to talk about a conversation which influenced me a lot. It so happened that my friend came to see me last year in December. 2 years ago, she went to Toronto, Canada for her higher education. She had came home for her winter vacation and so she paid me a visit. There were some guests in my house, so we went to a park in my neighborhood where we could talk without any disturbance. It has a long track, so we started walking on it and also chatted with each other. We had so much to tell each other. I wanted to know everything about her life in Canada. She told me all about her study and about her stay over there. Initially, she faced lot of problems, but she sorted them out and now she was happy over there. She is a pure vegetarian and in the beginning, she could not find any affordable veg food outlet over there. Then she found an Indian grocery shop and started cooking for herself. She worked 20 hours a week along with her studies and could manage to earn her overhead expenses. She also told me about the beautiful places to visit in Toronto. She painted a very rosy picture of Canada in my eyes. The conversation was so interesting that we both did not realize that we had been walking for 2 hours. She has an iPhone which has health app which tells about miles walk. We had walked 5 miles which is about 8 kilometers. Surprisingly, we did not feel any tiredness. When we came home, she talked to my parents about sending me to Canada for my higher education. Because of her, my parents also agreed to send me to Canada. I can never forget this long walk and this conversation which proved to be a turning point in my life. Before that, I'd never thought about going abroad for studies. That's it. Describe a famous person you are interested in. There are many people whom I admire for their attributes and achievements, but one who stands out is Elon Musk. He is a founder of Tesla, SpaceX, and other exciting companies in USA. He was born in South Africa. From there he moved to Canada and ultimately to USA, the land of opportunities. Earlier in his career, he started a company called Zip2 and sold it for hundreds of millions of dollars. Once he had the money, he used to build his another venture called PayPal, an online payment management system. The company started with the ambitious goal of making an online bank. PayPal has another brilliant co-founder, Peter Thiel, who today is a billionaire and famous for funding in hair-bent ideas from other people around the globe. Once PayPal was sold to eBay, Elon took his money and started two companies most unlikely to succeed in America, the SpaceX and Tesla. The Tesla started with the aim of accelerating world's advent to sustainable energy. The company builds cars, robots, semis, pickup trucks, batteries and solar roofs for electric grids around the world. The company is profitable today thanks to the geniuses of Mr. Musk, who saved it from near certain collapses a few times in the past. The company is on its way to create world's advent to sustainable energy. Space exploration technology, popularly known as SpaceX, is another company started by Mr. Musk. The company started with the aim of making human a multi-planetary species. The first part of the plan was to make rocket reusable and then make them enough powerful to propel humans to Mars. Once Mars is colonized by humans, the aim of the company to explore rest of the solar system and explore outer space as well. Elon Musk is not only a brilliant person but also a very hardworking, humble, kind and soft-spoken personality. He is a great leader towards his workers. I find him very motivating because of his vision for future. That's it. Describe a story someone told you and you remember it. I've heard many stories in my life. I believe that storytelling is an art as old as civilization itself. You know, I grew up in a nuclear family with my both parents doing their working busy jobs, but no worries about that. Every year during summer I used to spend at least 2 months with my grandparents. My grandmother used to tell me interesting stories every night during bedtime. Her all stories were fun to hear. Some stories were fairy tales, some of prince and princess, some of tales of Panchtantra which had animal character in them. Here I would like to talk about a story which she told me many times. This is the story of the greedy dog. Once upon a time there was a dog. He was very hungry. He wandered here and there in search of food. Then he found a juicy bone from butcher's shop. He felt very happy. He took the bone and ran away. He came on the bridge of the river. Then he saw his own shadow into the water. He thought there was another dog which had bone in his mouth. His mouth watered and he wanted to snatch that bone from him. He started barking on him and as he opened his mouth, his bone fell down from his mouth into the river. The dog lost his own juicy bone. He felt repentant at his greed, but alas, nothing could be done. The moral of the story is that greedy lost what they have. Greed is a curse. I feel indebted to my grandmother that she taught me valuable life lessons from these short stories. Now I tell these stories to my niece and nephew when they come at my place.